With so many electrolyte solutions on the market, how do you know what's best? And how do you know what works for one person will work for you? Hi folks, it's Switchback. I'm going to share with you today how I figured out what was the best solution for me, and I'm hopeful that that will help you to figure out what's right for you. And if you stay to the end, I will share with you my solution for keeping things like my water bladder or my water bottles from tasting like electrolytes. If this is your first time here, welcome. I am Switchback. I have spent most of my life enjoying a variety of outdoor activities, and I love sharing ways to help you get outside safely and responsibly. I make videos with tips for hiking, backpacking, and other outdoor activities, along with sharing some of my own outdoor adventures and photography. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss anything. For almost any hike, run, backpacking trip, etc., electrolytes are crucial for keeping your muscles, your heart, and other parts of your body functioning the way that they are meant to. When you sweat, breathe, urinate, etc., your body loses some of its stored electrolytes, such as sodium, potassium, magnesium, chloride, and more.
Oh, I'm struggling.
If you only drink water, you can further dilute those electrolytes and develop a state called hyponatremia, which means low salt. And this can lead to confusion, nausea, muscle cramps, and eventually death if it goes untreated. The most common way to supplement your electrolytes is with electrolyte drinks, but there are chews and tablets and other options out there as well. So when I talk about drinks, I mean all of those, but I will just be using the word drinks today because that's what I use. All of these electrolyte drinks are gonna have the most essential ones, or at least most of them will have the most essential ones in varying balances, and potentially some amount of the lesser critical electrolytes. Most of them are sweetened either with sugar or some kind of a sugar alternative. There are lots of flavors out there, and of course, just like anything else out there, fruit punch from one brand doesn't taste the same as fruit punch from another. So here are a few things to consider when you're choosing which ones you want to try. What sweeteners are in it? And this takes knowing your body to some degree. Some people are very sensitive to sugar alternatives and some are not. If you are someone who is sensitive to different alternatives, then it's helpful to know which ones don't work for you so that you can just automatically eliminate any of those. Consider your budget. Some of these are expensive, some of them are not, but you don't want that to be a factor that's going to slow down your electrolyte intake. Availability. Some of them you have to order, so if you are, let's say, on a trip or you're traveling and you don't have it readily available and it's not easily accessible at REI or Target or somewhere else where you could easily get electrolytes, you might be out of luck. And then you're stuck with whatever's available there and hoping that it works for your body. So it may serve you well to choose something that is more broadly available. The physical state. So I already mentioned that there are chews and tablets and there's all that, but there are tablets that will dissolve in water. There are powders. So you can choose which of those work for you. Tablets are much less messy than a powder and they take up less room, but they also get fizzy and then they can blow up your container and they take longer to dissolve. Look at the electrolyte profile, and what I mean by that is how much of each of the electrolytes are in there. Some of them are really heavy on the sodium and that's about it. You also want to make sure that there is potassium and chloride at the very least. And it's a good idea for there to be at least some degree of the other electrolytes in there as well. Also look at other additives such as artificial colors or natural flavors that may be in there. Gender and hormones can play a factor in this as well. For example, Tailwind is a very popular brand in the ultra running community, which is people who run distances that are longer than a marathon. And for a lot of women, it actually upsets our stomachs, including me. So it tends to work better for men than for women, again, in general. There are always exceptions, of course. Body chemistry is a huge part of this. And so that is one of the reasons I don't like to say this brand will definitely work for you. This is just what's worked for me and how to figure out what's right for you. So next, after looking at all of that, choose a few that you want to try sampling at home. You can decide to do this all at once, but I like to spread it out so that my taste buds are not adjusted to one when I go to sip on another. And this is literally going to be like a taste test to see what you like. And I highly recommend that you take more than one sip, drink a few sips of it to see that it doesn't start to get weird on you. Unless, of course, you already figured out that you don't like that one. Some are sweeter than others, some are saltier than others. You get to figure out what you like. If you're in any hiking or running groups in person or on forums like Reddit, Facebook, etc., you can always scroll through posts and see what people have said that they liked, or create a new post and ask people what's worked for them. If you're getting any value out of this, be sure to let me know by liking and subscribing. Next, leave it just the ones that have passed muster, and you're going to assign one brand per tough workout. Ideally for a long, hot hike, if that's what you're training for, but any really challenging workout will do. Don't mix brands on the same workout. The idea is to see how your body responds when it's really challenged to that particular electrolyte profile, that mix, that drink. How much do you need? That's going to vary widely. Initially, follow the directions on the package, and then you can adjust up or down from there based on how you're feeling. And of course, if it's hotter, you're working harder, you're sweating more, you might need more than if you are not doing those things. And don't forget to be drinking water while you're drinking your electrolytes. So what should you expect? The right brands will help you to feel good and to keep going. Something that's not a good fit is going to make you nauseated. And if you vomit, you lose a lot of electrolytes that way. And frankly, it makes your trip a lot less enjoyable. Last year, I did some heat training to prepare for a high altitude trip in the Sierra, and you can see that trip video up here. And I used that training to do all of this kind of testing for myself. I've been a hiker and a trail runner for a long time, so I've already eliminated some that I know don't work for me and had some sense of ones that did. But I wanted to make sure I was taking the best options for this trip. I confirmed for myself that Scratch Labs is one of my absolute favorites, and it works really well for my body. And I love the flavors of it that I have tried. These are just two of them. Now for that bonus tip. I keep my electrolytes completely separated from my primary hydration source. I don't ever put electrolytes in a hydration reservoir or even a water bottle. Instead, I use soft flasks. So these are dedicated for electrolytes, so it doesn't really matter to me if they do start to taste like it, because that's all that ever goes in here. And because that's all I ever use these for, I don't confuse these for regular water or anything else. I've been using these ones from Osprey for years. I have a couple of them, and if I have a vest pocket, I can stick it there. It fits in my waist belt, like if I have a fanny pack on. When you're looking for one, you want at least 500 mLs. I do wish the openings on this were bigger, but the newer models, it is bigger. And you can see like this one from Ultimate Direction is a lot bigger. And that makes it a lot easier to fit in like those tabs, or to pour that powder in here, especially when you're shaky and tired and exhausted and really in need of electrolytes. I'll leave links to some good models of the soft flasks down in the description, along with the electrolytes that I have found worked for me and some other very common brands that you might try. Not using electrolytes is a very common hydration mistake, but if you'd like to see more hydration mistakes, then click on this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye!